to text it to you. Yep, we got it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to call to order meeting of City of Waukegan City Council's Public Works and Infrastructure Subcommittee for March 16th, 2026. Mr. Director, roll call, please.
Chairman Turner.
Present.
Vice Chairman Guzman. Alderman Downingworth.
Present.
Alderman Hayes. Alderman Newsom.
Present.
Is that a quorum?
Yes,
That's a
sir.
quorum. All right, thank you, sir. Excuse me. I'd like a motion to approve the Public Works and Infrastructure Committee minutes of February 17th, 2026 as presented.
So moved.
Motion by Newsom, second by
Second.
Alderman Downingworth.
Alderman Donovan.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Audience time. Anybody in the audience would like to address this committee regards any item of business on this agenda for tonight? Yes, sir. If you would state your name, please.
Yes, sir,
Don't
Mr.
adjust the
Turner.
mic. Just speak right into it. It'll pick you up, Keith.
My name is Jesse Rosado. I'm from Ward 6. And I have some questions about number D tonight, or letter D, the last proposal tonight. And what my calculator tells me is that we're about to spend over $600,000 on dash cameras. Now, just for some context, I think I bought mine for my pickup for about $400. And so I'm hoping that we can get some questions answered and get some attention to this one. You know, I do see sometimes we end up with things sailing through here. I mean, we saw in the Finance Committee last week where something sailed through the committee, $2.4 million expenditure, not a single question was asked. Now, we've also seen where this counselor is poking at this counselor, questioning $250 worth of pizzas at the, at the ward meeting, you know what I'm saying? And I don't really have anything to say about that, but what I do want to say is, it's weird when a $250 expenditure could be questioned, but $2.4 million go through and no questions at all, And so this one right here is over $500,000 for dash cams. Probably the most important question would be, how many vehicles are we talking about here? So we can do the math. Are we spending $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 per vehicle for these cash, But there's a ton of other questions too. I was under the impression we already have dash cams on our snow plows or whatever. So probably just a little extra attention on that one. Like, get to the bottom of why are we doing this? Thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Jesse. Excuse me. Anyone else who would like to address the council in regards to the item on tonight's agenda? No? Okay, great. Thank you. And there is no old business. Excuse me. And Mr. Rosado, I'll talk with you about this post-meeting unless we might get some discussion on it here. New business. Excuse me. Item A. I'd like a resolution authorizing certain city officials and officers to execute approved contracts with the state of Illinois and directing the city clerk to complete and execute a certificate of authority for state contracts. And I'm going to ask the director to kind of put that in layman's terms. Just short and sweet. What is that, Chris? I don't want to speak to it and screw it up. So just getting authorization to buy salt, basically.
From the state to buy salt and any other items that they may be selling. So basically, they want us to have a commitment saying that we're going to get these items, whatever it is that we purchase from them. And in this case, it would be our road salt.
Right. Great. Okay. Thank you.
Can I
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can I make a motion to seat Alderman Hayes?
Yeah. Motion to seat Alderman Hayes by Alderman Newsom.
Second.
And second by Alderman Downingworth.
Thanks,
All in
guys.
favor? Aye. Hayes, you are seated.
Thank you. Sorry for being late, Chairman.
Yes, sir. Did you have anything, observation or question on item A under new business? Mike, Edie, either of you? Okay, great. Roll call, please. Wait, who made the motion? Newsom and Donenworth. Okay. Roll call?
Chairman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item B, excuse me. I'd like a motion for a resolution approving an intergovernmental agreement for lighting at Yeoman Park between the Waukegan Park District and the city of Waukegan.
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Newsom,
Second.
second by Alderman Donenworth. And this one is lighting at Yeoman Park. The city will purchase and install one additional light at Yeoman Park while continuing maintenance on the new light, as well as the existing lighting will fall to the Park District. Waukegan Park District will be financially responsible for all associated electric bills. The cost of the light and fixtures to the city is $558. Can I have a motion? We got-
Motion.
Okay, and,
Second.
I'm sorry. Newsom Donenworth made the motion. And questions on the motion? No questions? Roll call.
Chairman Turner,
Aye.
Vice Chair Guzman. Oh, not yet. Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes, Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item C, like a motion for a resolution approving a contract for HVAC preventative maintenance and emergency repairs with Air Comfort per section 2-458 subsection I, subsection 3, subsection joint purchasing through Lake County, Illinois, for a not-to-exceed amount of $25,000 for the remainder of fiscal year '26, and a not-to-exceed amount of $65,000 for fiscal year '27. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Donenworth,
Second.
second by Newsom. And questions to the motion? No questions? All right, roll call.
Chairman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth,
Aye.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Item D, resolution approving the purchase and installation of cameras for the Public Works and Water Department fleet from Samsara, that's Carasoft Technology, per section 2-458, subsection I, subsection 3, subsection joint purchasing through Sourcewell for a not-to-exceed amount of $152,222.41 for 1 year, or for year one, and $119,713.30 for years 2 through 5. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Alderman Newsom,
Second.
second by Alderman Donenworth. Is this, when it says $119,713.30 for years 2 through 5, is that for years 2 through 5, or is it each year, 2
Each
through
year.
5?
Per year.
Yes.
Per year, for years 2 through 5. Okay.
Correct.
And that's for 150 vehicles.
If I may, Alderman,
Yes, sir.
I would like to have my superintendent speak on this to answer the question for the young
Mr.
man in the
Jenkins?
audience.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I wanted to answer a couple of questions. I know the resident had a couple concerns. I'll just give you a scenario that we had this past Friday. Our crews were out patching on Keller and Dodge when a vehicle fled by them real fast and hit the mirror. We called the police. He got out, said, "You hit me," when he hit the vehicle. So the mirrors hit each other. So when the police came, he asked for a witness statement. It would have been better for us liability-wise to have video footage of that the situation, instead of just relying on hearsay. It also, we also have a lot of new drivers that don't know how to read maps. So it would help us teach them how to run the routes, the plow routes, because last year we had a couple situations where a lot of our new drivers, they didn't know it was an alley there, so they was plowing driveways. This is a training tool where we can see live footage of them from the command center at the city yards and coach them through situations. It also, it has, if they run a stop sign, if they speed, everything is in an OBD2 sensor. So it has footage on everything, and we can pull that footage up for a year. Wow. Yeah. And the cameras on the front and the rear of the vehicles.
Well,
So it's similar to LRS, you know, when they get complaints about they didn't pick their trash up. If we get a call saying they didn't plow my street or they didn't pick the leaves up, we can always go back to the footage and say, well, it was a car in the way. This is the reason that we wasn't able to get it. So it's a liability. It's a protection for everybody involved.
Yeah. Sounds like it's long overdue because
Yeah.
that's a very robust system. And I think we have similar in the police vehicles, right, Chief? Okay, so we've got our police fleet has got the dash cams. And I'll speak from personal experience. I have a dash cam in my car. And last April 18th, someone hit me while I was sitting at the stop sign, destroyed my vehicle, and then now I've got one in the new car. And July 6th or something, another lady hit me in that car. So I got both of those cases because I had video evidence. But with this, it being able to not only track, see the video, but track and monitor and all, man, that's all. Mr. Hayes.
Question for you just about the camera coverage. So there will be cameras on the front and rear of each vehicle, is that right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Will the cameras be able to cover, are they just outward facing or are they looking back? Is it 360 degrees or what's the scope of the coverage?
It's not 360 degrees, it's the front visual and the rear visual. Okay. But it will scope out, we have a lot of instances where residents will say that, hey, you hit my mailbox.
Sure.
We can go back to the footage and say, well, the mailbox was already down. We didn't do it. So it's a real good, clear view of what you would get.
Okay, all right, and then we'll need some sort of retention policy. You said it's for a year, but someone might subpoena that camera footage or something like that. So we'll just want to make sure we have a method for preserving any of the information.
It's all in the cloud. It
Okay.
has the cloud.
All right,
It's all part of the service.
sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not in this committee, but do you mind if I ask a question?
Pressing it, but go ahead.
Oh, how long is this technology, how long could it last for? What we're going to be installing? Is it long lasting in terms of, what's like the shelf life for this type
Yeah,
of?
so it is long lasting. We're able to integrate other products onto it once we get it and see how it works for us. A lot of the guys don't want it, but if we needed to, we could put a driver-facing camera on it. We don't want to do that. We want to kind of see what's going on the road. Another feature we can have on it where it will route out the plow routes. We integrate. We've in the process of integrating all our paper maps, making them digital. What we can do is the system will make the routes more efficient and tell the drivers turn by turn how to plow their routes.
Okay, cool.
Thank
All
you.
right, that's it. All right, roll call, please.
Chairman Turner,
Aye.
Alderman Donenworth,
All right,
Alderman Hayes. Alderman Newsom.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you. All right, there are no presentations or reports or communications. Motion to adjourn.
motion.
We have a
Where? That's
short presentation from my construction manager, Marvin Coleman, in regards to
I don't
the
see that on the
upcoming.
agenda, but come on up.
It's at the end.
I didn't say what's up. Just, all right, come on up, Marvin.
Good evening, council. How are you?
I'm doing well, sir.
Good, good. I just want to present to you a continuation of our last year FY '26 road program. I think you all should have received an illustration of what we are continuing in. Okay. So the list that we have is 6th Street from Elmwood to Fulton, which is 2nd Ward. Baldwin Avenue from Washington to Grand, which encompasses 3rd and 9th. Brookside from Buttrick to Lewis, which incorporates 3rd and 4th. Cornelia and Metropolitan to the dead end, 3rd and 9th. Fulton from Washington to Dodge, 2nd and 4th. Lewis Avenue from Glenflora to Grand, 3rd and 5th. Jenkinson Court from Buttrick to Lewis, 4th Ward. Lenox Avenue from Helmholtz to 10th Street. It has the first lift, but because of the end of the season's weather, and also we wanted to concentrate on finishing out Washington Street, we did the first layer, and also any manholes or valves or any things of that sort, structures, we ramped to make sure that we had a smooth transition for protection of vehicles and also to transition from the first level to an existing pavement, so it was a smooth flow. So these next three, from Lewis, Helmholtz to 10th, May Street from McAllister to Sheridan, and Helmholtz from McAllister to Martin Luther King. Those were all first wards that weren't finished, but they're on the docket to get done very soon as weather permits. So if you want to go to your second page, or the third page, I should say, I gave you an illustration of a before and after of what the streets look like at Mid-Lane Drive. So you'll see a lot of alligator cracks, a lot of longitudinal cracks in the road. And if you will keep turning, you will see the after product. So we gotten a lot of residents that commended us on the work that was done. They're always talking about the smooth transition and how many years that the road was in this condition, but now, with that being fixed, and also on the roads, we do intermittent sidewalks, so they're eliminating cracks, they're eliminating trip hazards. We're doing ADA ramps at the corners with flare, flares are on the edge. You might see it rise up to look like a curb, but that keeps the wheelchairs and people that might be walking with sticks that might be impaired with their vision, that keeps them in the sidewalk, and then they have the detector at the end, which shows them that, okay, you're coming up on a street, you need to proceed with caution. So the program has been going very well. We've got a lot of response from the residents, and the aesthetics as far as the beautification of the neighborhoods they've commended us on it as well, so.
Thank you, sir. And Marvin, this is a continuation of the fiscal year '26.
Yes.
So it's going to wrap up by the end of April.
Excuse me?
This initiative ends at the end of April, yeah?
Soon as weather permits, yeah, we're right back out there. Okay. The scope is not so big right now, so we can have a quick turnaround with finishing, and then we can go from there.
Outstanding.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any questions for the director?
Yes, ma'am.
My question is, do you know when they're going to start with the sidewalks on Lewis Avenue between Grand and Glenflora? Or the
Start
curb
date.
cuts?
Curb cuts?
Mm-hmm.
Curb cuts is going to be starting very soon. It's in the same, clumped in with the same roads that I just read off to
Right.
you. Because right now, they finished the lead service successfully. So that's in unison with these road programs, and with the road program, with the roads that I said are at a continuation. So that's going to be starting as soon as weather breaks as well.
Okay.
We have everything lined up, quantities and everything, so we're just waiting for this weather to permit us to carry on.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Cool, great, thanks.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. And now, I'll take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Newsom, second by? Donenworth. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned at 6:20 PM. Thank you all.
Okay, now is the time for the call to order of Public Safety Committee on Monday, March 16 at 6:22. May I get a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Alderman Newsom,
Present.
Alderman Florian,
Present.
Alderman Guzman, Alderman Donenworth,
Present.
Chair Martinez.
Present.
You have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. Item C, are there any public comments?
With a 5-year-old, right?
Any public comments? Okay, proceeding. I need a first and a second motion to approve the minutes for the Public Safety Committee that was held on January 20th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Roll call, please. Oh, sorry. Okay, moving forward, item 2, old business. There is no old business. Moving on to item 3, new business. I need a first and a second motion to approve the execution of the contract by and between the City of Waukegan and Bike Construction LLC, the Waukegan Fire Department. Oh, okay. All right, I'm sorry, that was actually pulled from the agenda. I apologize. Okay, next, we're going to go ahead with the reports and communications. Now, we do have a presentation by Commander Adriana Cancino concerning the construction of the construction season and traffic safety. You can come up here, please, ma'am.
Here at the podium, sir. Good evening, members of the Public Safety Committee. As we enter the warm months, we'll see that the construction season will be upon us. I know we've already had some started, but I'd like to start beginning with some information. So construction zone is a roadway where construction or maintenance work is taking place. Temporary traffic control devices are used. Speed limits may be reduced for safety. Illinois refers to these as construction or maintenance speed zones. Next, please. The construction law zone is governed by our Illinois statute 625 ILCS 5/11-605.1. The key rule for this statute is that drivers may not exceed the posted speed limits in a construction zones. This rule applies when workers are present and also when they are not present. Illinois establishes the enhanced penalties. Minimum penalties for the first offense could be $250. Second offense is $750. More severe, the Class B misdemeanor of 26 plus over the speed limit to Class A misdemeanor of 35 over the speed limit. Judges can then decide to add a license suspension, court costs, and possible jail time. Work zone crashes occur frequently. Over 6,000 work zone crashes occur annually in Illinois, more than 1,600 injuries each year, and approximately 30 fatalities each year. The common incidents are rear-end collisions, speeding, and driver distractions. And surprisingly, most victims are not workers. Statistics show that only a small number of fatalities involve construction workers. Most fatalities involve motorists or passengers. This means construction zone safety protects everyone on the road. And then we have the most common contributing factors: speeding, distracted driving, majority cell phone usage, following too closely, sudden lane changes, failure to obey the traffic control devices. And we have the majority of them are rear-end crashes. And then we should have drivers reducing their speed, increasing their following distance, avoiding distractions, obey the flaggers and the signage, merge early when lanes are closed, and these behaviors will significantly reduce crash risks. And then construction zones are temporary hazards. Driver behavior is the biggest factor in these crashes. We need the motorists to follow the speed limits, which will protect the workers and the motorists on the roadway. So actions behind the wheels can last forever. And in conclusion, we're looking for everyone to understand the Illinois law for under construction zones, their responsibility for their driving behavior, and then awareness constantly of the traffic conditions can change at any moment. And then that is our goal, to prevent injuries and save lives. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Great presentation, by the way. So when they get these, like they keep getting these infractions, you know, is there, at what point is there a state that, can the state get involved, the DMV, and actually pull their license from them because they have so many infractions? I know there's like a fine and then it moves on progressive, but at what time when do we say enough's enough and the state gets involved, or if that's something the state doesn't get involved in?
Yes, the SOS will at a certain point, depending on the amount of infractions that they do get, it does get to a point where they suspend them or revoke them. And then the penalties are high in reference to how the DMV, the Secretary of State does apply those.
Okay, thank you. You know, if you can't learn it first time, eventually your license, that privilege will be taken away.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, thank you so much. No questions, anyone? Okay,
Nope,
next.
thank
we're
you.
gonna- But Alderman Hayes, did you have a question? Oh, I'm sorry. All right, next we're going to have a update on the new dispatch center, and it's going to be presented by Commander Francisco Lopez.
Good evening, everyone. A little bit of an update. We began dispatching for Tower Lakes, Park City, and Winthrop Harbor back in November with anticipation of opening the new dispatch center in November. We were unable to do so because the cloud-based 911 phone system that was being installed had not passed through certification through AT&T at that time. In mid-February, that system was certified for rollout to all PSAPs, or public service answering points, which our dispatch center will be. It was certified, and we are awaiting the hardware from Motorola and AT&T to be delivered. Upon that arrival, which should be within the next month, they'll conduct their installation, their configuration, and we'll be able to move out to the new center. I'm anticipating the opening to be around mid-April.
Are there any questions? Alderman Florian?
Are we going to be able to have a final tour? I mean, I think I saw it when it was still very much under construction. Will we be able to see the finished product as well?
Yes, ma'am, we're still under construction right now, awaiting those parts from Motorola and AT&T. I can give a tour anytime you'd like. I know that I'm supposed to be giving a tour tomorrow with Alderman Felix and Alderman Martinez around 1:30, but I'm more than happy to set up any time if you'd like to come through. It is a little Spartan right now, but we're almost to the point where everything is installed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions?
Nope.
Okay. Adjournment. I need a first and a second motion to adjourn at 6:31.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right, the time has come for the Waukegan City Council, March 16th, 2026, council meeting. Roll call, please.
Thank you. Alderman Martinez.
Present.
Alderman Felix.
Present.
Alderman Newsome.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Alderman Donnerworth.
Present.
Alderman Florian.
Present.
Alderman Hayes.
Present.
Alderman Bolton.
Present.
Alderman Guzman. Mayor Cunningham.
Present.
You have a quorum, sir.
All right, we have a quorum. Item B, invocation, which will be led by Dr. Pamela Woodford of Mount Moriah Christian Center. Immediately following the invocation, we'll have Pledge of Allegiance led by our was it VFW? American Legion, I apologize. Pastor, all rise for the prayer.
I just want to say first that I am very impressed that the city of Waukegan would acknowledge God. Proverbs 3:6 says, acknowledge him in all of your ways, and he would be sure to direct your path. Lord God, it's tonight that we come to you, Lord God, to say, oh God, what is it that you would have us to do? We are acknowledging you, oh God, on this path. We acknowledge you, oh God, to give us direction. We have a heart, oh God, to do good. We have a heart for the people. And oh God, if you would just continue to pour your love into us, then we can walk out your will on the earth. Lord God, bless everyone in this room. Let us walk in peace and unity for the good of man, oh God. These and all things we ask in the name of Jesus. It is so. Amen.
Amen. American Legions. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 1C, Mayor's comments. Well, it is clear that winter isn't quite finished with us yet. But once again, Waukegan Public Works stepped up on a Sunday night to plow salt and make sure our roads were safer for the morning commute. I stopped by Waukegan Public Works last night to thank and encourage the snow fighters. I might be a little biased when I say this, but I truly believe that Waukegan Public Works is second to none. They show their dedication to the city by working long hours in difficult conditions to keep Waukegan moving night or day. As always, I think I can say this on behalf of myself and the aldermen and the citizens. Thank you, Waukegan Public Works. A couple weeks ago, I was proud to join a binational delegation of mayors in Washington, D.C. to participate in the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Initiative Great Lakes Day. Waukegan with leaders, working with leaders on both sides of the aisle, bipartisan coalition, and working together to protect the environmental economic future of our shared waters in the region we all represent. In Waukegan, we are addressing lead service line replacement with a citywide approach to ensure that no neighborhood is left behind. As we rebuild the city, investing in water infrastructure to proactively replace outdated water mains and lead service lines are one of the most important investments we can make, because water is the foundation of public health, economic growth. The multi-million-dollar investments will continue to ensure long-term reliability and sustainability of this vital utility. I will continue to work with the coalition of mayors to urge federal leaders to reauthorize critical water infrastructure programs benefiting communities in the Great Lakes and St. Lawrence River region, which is the third largest economy in the world. Continued investment in our natural resources and water infrastructure is essential to the long-term prosperity of our city and our nation. I also want to take a moment to recognize that March is Greek American Heritage Month. Waukegan has long been strengthened by the contribution of Greek immigrants and Greek American families who've helped build businesses, churches, and traditions that continue to enrich our city today. I'm grateful for everything our Greek community has contributed over the years, and I'm proud to say that many of my Greek friends and family considered me an honorary Greek, which they do. Last, I do want to hopefully do some corrections on some things that was brought out in reference to some towing that might have, I think, been misinformed. I'm gonna put it that way. Information regarding towing receipts mentioned on 3/2/2026. There was questions related to the toll fees stemming from the Waukegan Police Department. It should be noted that none of the 3 toll fees being questioned involved a police squad car. The 3 tolls questioned are for vehicles towed as evidence involved in open investigations of Waukegan Police Department. On August 26, 2025, there was a joint effort between Waukegan Fire Department and Waukegan Police Department involving a unique investigation where a vehicle was discovered submerged at the Waukegan Harbor. It was later determined that the vehicle was related to an individual who was reported missing in April of 2024. The vehicle had to be removed from the bottom of the canal in the Waukegan Harbor. This investigation remains open. The result in a toll fee of $2,200. On October 18, 2025, the Waukegan Police Department Major Crimes Unit investigated a significant crash with injuries involving a 2024 Nissan. The vehicle was towed as evidence for crash reconstruction purposes and secured at city yards. This investigation remains open. The result of the tow was $425. On January 26, 2026, the Waukegan Criminal Crimes Division began a death investigation. The investigation revealed the involvement of a 2007 Lexus. The vehicle was towed to the Waukegan PD for evidence processing and required winching to secure it inside the police bay. This investigation remains open. The result of that tow was $300. On January 29, 2026, the evidence processing was completed for the 2027 Lexus. The Lexus was towed from Waukegan Police Department to city yards to be stored as evidence. This death investigation remains open. The result of the tow was $300. Alderman, if you care to have any further questions clarifying these particular items that you have mentioned, feel free to talk to Deputy Chief Neal. Just want to clarify that. Thank you very much. For me, that's all that I have for item 1C. Item 2, resolutions, proclamations, presentations, and appointments. Proclamation honoring the service and sacrifice of Waukegan's Vietnam veterans. Proclamation honoring Vietnam veterans was on board docs, but I think our Madam Clerk will be reading the proclamation.
Absolutely. Proclamation honoring the service and sacrifice of Waukegan's Vietnam veterans. Whereas the Vietnam War stands as one of the most significant and challenging chapters in the history of the United States, calling upon the courage, dedication, and unyielding spirit of young Americans who step forward to serve their nation. And whereas these men and women answer the call of duty during a time of great uncertainty and unrest, standing firm in their commitment to defend freedom, democracy, and the principles upon which our country was founded. And whereas the city of Waukegan recognizes that the Vietnam War tested not only the strength of those who served overseas, but also the compassion and resilience of the families and communities here at home who supported them through sacrifice and prayer. And whereas the passing decades have only deepened our understanding of the hardships endured by those who served, the challenges of combat, the pain of loss, and the lasting effects of war. Yet their courage and perseverance continue to inspire future generations. And whereas March 29th is recognized across the United States as Vietnam Veterans Day, a time to pay tribute to all who served during the Vietnam War and to express our nation's enduring gratitude for their sacrifices. And whereas today we pause to honor the Vietnam War veterans from the city of Waukegan, whose service, bravery, and dedication exemplify the very best of our community and our nation. Marcus E. Arneson, Curtis A. Baker, Craig Bauer, Robert E. Bowley, Robert A. Bride, Walter W. Brown, David Burkus, Brian Campbell, Peter J. Canalakes, Melvin Clay, Charles W. Depp, Steen R. Foster, Stephen Gallegos, Jerry Gatlin, Dennis Gonzalez, Patrick J. Harris, James Hinkle, Stephen Kelly, Erhard Matheson Jr., Emmett McClellan, Terry Patterson, Edward K. Peters, John K. Peterson, Robert C.A., Elroy Simmons, Donald Smirtnick, David E. Thaxton, Eddie L. Walker, James Whisker, and John Woodard. Whereas these individuals served with distinction and honor, all carrying forward the spirit of loyalty, integrity, and devotion to the United States of America. And whereas it is both fitting and just that the city of Waukegan acknowledges these men and their contributions, ensuring that their service and sacrifice will forever remain a cherished part of our city's history. And now therefore be it resolved that Mayor Sam Cunningham and the members of City Council do hereby proclaim our everlasting gratitude and recognition for the Vietnam War veterans of Waukegan and encourage all residents to observe March 29th, Vietnam Veterans Day, in honor of their valor and sacrifice. Be it further resolved that we stand united in remembrance and honor of their valor, and that we commit ourselves to supporting all who have served and continue to serve, and that we pledge to keep alive the lessons of courage, compassion, and unity that their legacy imparts. Adopted the 16th day of March, 2026.
Mayor, this proclamation, we've asked Mr. Ali Al-Bakri, Mr. Dwayne Pesey, and a gentleman named Wellington Nettle. And he passed through to pick up the city sticker today, saw the marketing, and wanted to come and be part of this ceremony.
All right, come on up. There's a motion by Alderman Turner, second by Alderman Martinez. Any questions to the motion? All those in favor? Motion is passed and carried. On behalf of the mayor's office, city clerk and treasurer, all the aldermen and the great citizens, the woman is speaking to the mic. On behalf of the mayor's office, our city clerk, our treasurer, and the aldermen, and all the citizens of this great city, say thank you for your service. Picture first. I know you have something to do.
My name is Dwayne Pesey. I'm the commander of the Waukegan American Legion Homer Derringer Post 281. On behalf of the Vietnam era veterans, I'm not going to say just veterans, Vietnam veterans, but on the behalf of the era veterans, I accept this proclamation, and we will find a place to put it in a place of honor.
Thank you, sir. Let's give it up.
a resident here for about 25 years. And I think this is the first time I've been in the city hall. It's embarrassing to say since I've been trying to be a loyal citizen all this time. I served in Vietnam from 1968 through, spent 2 tours over there. And lucky to say I made it back in one piece. And I'd just like to give respect and honor to the ones that were lost, the ones that did make it back, but not complete. And I'd like to mention that the VA here is doing an honorable job taking care of the veterans, the Vietnam all the way up to what we have now. And just want to thank each and every one of you for this recognition. And secondly, David, I met at the getting my license plate renewed, my license sticker, city sticker renewed, and he told me about this. And just an honor being here. I'm glad he told me. I never would have known this, so I hope to be here more often. Yes, sir.
Item 2B will be status report, Finance Department. Mr. Juan Garcia.
Yes, sir. And while they queue that up, good evening, council and members of the public. My name is Juan Garcia, and I'm the Director of Finance here at the City of Waukegan. Next slide. As council will recall, in December, we contracted with MGT Consulting. We have been doing great work. Today's presentation was prepared in collaboration with MGT Consulting, and we have Ms. Smigelski, our fiscal consultant, present here tonight. Next slide. Our current focus has been on the accounting side of the finance department. Our brief agenda for tonight is to go over the ideal situation for moving through our accounting process, as well as some audit findings we are working through, and provide 2 examples that have already come before council. Next slide. There are specific deadlines for the accounting team within the finance department. We have monthly, quarterly, and annual deadlines. In an ideal situation, the accounting department is reviewing daily transaction activity, reconciling monthly, compiling internal reports, complying with the audit and continued disclosure filing dates, and this all leads into budget season. Next slide. Our starting point is our annual audit. What is an audit? It is an independent report by certified public accountants. Why is an independent audit important? It ensures integrity of our organization's finances. When is our audit due? It is due October 31st each year. And who is responsible for the audit? Seated leadership. Next slide. In this slide, you can see that our audits were completed late, beginning with fiscal year 21, which was due October 31st, 2021. In filing these late, Illinois law and regulatory deadlines were violated. I had previously commented at the Finance and Purchasing Committee in November that we're currently running about 6 months behind. Next slide. Independent auditor findings. The auditors provide insight into our financial and operational effectiveness. They noted 3 items: financial discrepancies, compliance issues, and internal control weaknesses. Next slide. For 2023 and 2024, we had some material weaknesses. A material weakness is a problem in the government's financial reporting process that is significant enough that it could lead to a material misstatement. What were these weaknesses? Bank reconciliation, revenue recognition, and financial reporting. In other words, we're not balancing our checkbook timely, we're not ensuring that the money coming in is being recognized timely, and therefore our financial reporting is inaccurate. Next slide. Along the lines of financial reporting, one of the responsibilities we have is to complete continuing disclosure reports. As you all know, we have outstanding bonds. The Securities and Exchange Commission regulates the municipal bond market. Continuing disclosure is required by city policy, executed bond agreements, and federal law. Compliance impacts bond ratings and borrowing rates. Information is filed with MSRB and accessed through EMMA. Next slide. What is the MSRB and EMMA? The MSRB is the Municipal Securities Rulemaking Board. The MSRB protects investors, state and local governments, and the public interest. EMMA stands for Electronic Municipal Market Access. It is a website that was established to increase transparency of the municipal securities market by providing free public access to municipal securities, documents, and data. Next slide. Our annual filing requirements. These are due November 30th. It includes information from our audit, which is due October 31st. It also includes data that needs to be updated in our offering documents and material events as well. Material event is any event that is large enough that it could influence the decisions of investors, lenders, and other stakeholders. Some examples are new obligations that we incur, any asset changes and financial distress, or any legal settlements that we have encountered. In this slide, you can see that the filing date of the continued disclosures to the EMMA website are behind. For 2023, we are 242 days behind, and in 2024, we are 346 days late. Next slide. That means that our reports have been completed with stale data. The last correct filing with current data was filed in 2021. Since 2022, we have filed with stale data. That was over 570 days old by the filing date in one occurrence. Next slide. These represent specific issues, one of which is reporting timely to the Finance and Purchasing Committee. December 2020 was the last report to the Finance and Purchasing Committee. This could negatively impact our city's ability to issue bonds in the future and could be a potential violation of SEC Rule 15 CC2-12, which is an agreement to provide certain information to the Municipal Securities Rulemaking Board on an ongoing basis. Next slide. As I mentioned earlier, this all leads to the budget. It allows for allocation of estimated funding sources and uses for the next fiscal year. Forecasting depends on historic trends, statistical analysis, and monthly budget to actual variance. Having accurate and timely information is essential for this process. Next slide. Without this, the reliability of the budget is questionable if current and prior year numbers are not dependable at the time the budget is crafted. Next slide. Our current situation is as follows. It is far from the ideal situation. Our reconciliations are behind, our audit is behind, our internal reporting is lacking, and our budget needs accurate numbers. While the segments appear to be leaving the page in this slide, it is a team that is working on pulling them back together to their respective place, and we are making strides. Next slide. A glimpse into this impact can be seen with prior items brought before council. The first was in November 2025, where we requested a payment to RCCSD in the amount of $164,000 and some change. These payments were received between August 2024 and October 2025. This revenue was not ours. It belonged to a university in California, and it was for their students' parking permits. In February 2026, we had a shortfall that was discovered in Fund 307, which is our fixed asset replacement fund, which required a $2 million transfer. This was improperly budgeted based on cash on hand, which means that we did not account for items in transit. Or in other words, when you have your checkbook, you write out checks, you need to balance it at the end of the month. We didn't account for those checks that we had out in the mail. Next slide. Timeliness. This is what we're shooting for. Timeliness leads to bond compliance, it keeps our investors happy, and leads to reliable budgets. Next slide. We are currently working to catch up on bank reconciliations and train internal staff. We are reviewing continued disclosure and considering self-reporting from previously filed data. And we're addressing budget errors as they are discovered. Next slide. Future items is to continue to work on audit findings, review our financial policies, and look at grants in regards to our grant management life cycle. Next slide. Now I'm opening it for questions and comments.
Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for that, Juan. I do have a couple questions, as you're probably not surprised, since I'm the one that sends you the most emails
Oh, that's quite all right.
every month. This information was discovered, I'm assuming the lateness, what is this, the fourth or fifth slide, 12th slide, I guess it is, where you're talking about the audit being 242 days late, now it's 346 days late, so we're even more late now than we were a year ago. How much has our staff changed in that amount of time? Because we have you as finance director, and then we have 3 assistant finance directors, correct?
Correct.
So the leadership has been the same for quite some time.
Right, one of which I think works for the treasurer's office. But in regards to your question about staff, we have had an open position for a senior account that was previously contracted Robert Half, and we also had a staff accountant position that has not been filled. In regards to staff turnover, we had a senior accountant that was employed from 21 to 23 to 25, I believe, and then we had the contractor come in right after that. So there's still some positions to fill at the moment.
Okay, so how many employees do we have that report to a contractor and not to you?
Well, right now we just have MGT.
Okay. So that's just one. And you said the audit is due in October and the annual filing is due in November. We never get it back in a month.
No, so the way the process works is in June, we meet with our auditors, and we meet with them earlier. June, we do field work, and then that field work is concluded in August. Then they spend the time in September and October to prepare the final audit documents, and then we have to get it filed by October 31st. The continued disclosure is a month later, which is November 30th.
Okay, so that's the year prior, in other words.
For
then.
the year prior,
Okay.
correct.
All right, and one of the things you give us every month when we do finance committee is a budget to actual report.
Correct.
I noticed you mentioned that in here as well. So are those inaccurate for the last year?
They're inaccurate from this aspect. We provide the budget to actual in unaudited terms. We still have adjustments that we're making through as the staff is working through their reconcilements. The fact that we're 6 months behind doesn't give you an accurate projection of those numbers. So at the moment, we're caught up through December and we're March. So when you look at that budget to actual, it's going to be current through March. However, we still are going through those other months as far as reconciling.
Okay, but when you say it's current till December, so just so people understand, it lists what we budgeted for and what we've actually spent, basically, and what we've taken in. So we expected to take in a certain amount, we expected to spend a certain amount, and one of the things I always look at is, one of the reports Juan gives is, okay, we're 75% through the year. So we've only spent 60% of what we anticipated. So that's good news, right? We were going to spend 75% by the 75% of the year. But then how much have we taken in? Well, maybe we've taken in only 50% of what we expected. That's not what's happened, but I'm just giving an example. So I always look at that every month because it kind of gives you an idea of where we're at, how close are we sticking to the budget, how is the money coming in, how is the money going out. So when you say that you're only reconciled through December, and the numbers look good. I looked at them just recently when we had Finance Committee 2 weeks ago. So it looked still very good at that point. We had taken in more than expected. We had spent less than we expected. That's always good. I like that in my own household budget. I like to see that in the city budget as well. So are you telling me that wasn't really accurate, what I saw?
To an extent. So we have, to give you some context, we have 99 accounts that we have to reconcile every month. So it depends on what part of the budget to actual you're looking at, that could be all caught up to that point. If it's not, then it's not going to be caught up to that point. And then just to speak about the audit, once we're done with the fiscal year, because we're behind, we're still going through and reconciling all those items, even though we're now in a new fiscal year. And this is why it's important that all that gets done, because then the auditors, as they're coming in, they're telling us, hey, this is missing, we need to do this, or they're making adjustments and so on and so forth. That leads to the final audit report that they provide to us. So that
Okay.
ends up being the official document of where everything lands.
Okay, so where is the problem? Like, we have a lot of the same staff. We have you said in here that the responsibility is city leadership, but I really don't have anything to do with what happens in the finance department. I look at your numbers, but I'm not up there running. I'm the assistant chair of the finance committee, but I'm not in the finance department on a regular basis. I don't get any more information than any of the other aldermen up here do. So where's the problem? What problem do we need to solve that we're this far behind on these numbers when 4 years ago we weren't?
Good question. So in my opinion, it's the mayor and it's the finance director are the two biggest parties in that city leadership. From the finance director role, it's really looking at the landscape of the staff and making sure that all the responsibilities and tasks are properly aligned with everyone. So something that's taking place currently is we've looked at all those tasks and responsibilities. We've seen where some of those have been concentrated on one or a few individuals, and we're aligning them properly so that there's enough work that's spread about the staff to make sure that we can process these. I'll give you an example. 99 accounts is a lot for one person to balance. There's a lot of accounts that have no activity or minimal activity. Those are accounts that we're shifting to other staff members because they're easier to do. So it allows a senior team to be able to work on much more difficult things. They don't have to worry about those accounts, because the tendency is, since they're easy to reconcile, I might just set them aside and then do them all in one day, but the work is just piling up.
So how was it done previously when we were more on time with things?
It was spread about more staff.
Okay. And the problem is not with the audit company, because you're going to use the same audit company, I understand. That was one of my questions when I first heard about this. Are we changing audit companies as a result of this problem?
So it's their last year, this audit that they're doing. We haven't talked about extending their contract for an extra year or going back out to RFP at this point.
I'm pretty sure Alderman is wrapping up some of her questions, but there was a question as relates to audit. Yeah.
I'm done.
All right.
I've been told by the man to be quiet. I'll be quiet.
I'm going to recognize Alderman Hayes, but I'm going to take issue with this. I asked you if you were completed. You said yes.
I wasn't referring to you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. I get blamed for a lot of things now. I want to be honest. So, Alderman Hayes, I'm assuming you have a question? Go ahead, sir.
So the presentation seemed really pretty negative, is my overarching takeaway. There was a lot of problems in the past, and I think Alderman Florian was trying to get at what the solutions look like. When will we be in a position to reconcile all 99 accounts every single month on time?
So we're caught up through December as of right now. We're working through January. We're getting close to getting to that point where we can train staff to be able to take over.
So when will that be?
I can give you a month, but I don't want to commit to it because this is an ongoing thing. But I'll say about May, we should be good to go.
Okay,
Our
so
audit begins in June, so we're hoping to have all that squared up ahead of that time.
okay, so we'll be, as of now, we're through December of 2025, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so you still have to do January, February, and March once this month ends.
Yes.
And then by May, we'll be caught up through May, and we'll have a plan to reconcile all 99 accounts every single month?
Correct. We'll be caught up through April and May.
Sure.
But yes, we have a plan then to divvy up the work across the different staff personnel that we have.
Okay.
So we're correct.
I think one of the things that really concerns me, and I suspect concerns a lot of people, is that we're being presented with numbers, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, in many instances that are inaccurate. And if we're presenting a budget, which is comprised of huge buckets of big numbers, multiple buckets of really big numbers, are we able to rely on those numbers? Do we have any confidence in the budget that was presented to us last year?
Yes, you have confidence in the budget that was presented last year to an extent. There's a lot of those numbers that don't really change from year to year. There's increases that are in contracts. There's a lot that's already able to be determined ahead of time. But then there's the things that you are not linked to a contract or not linked to an agreement or so forth that we have to kind of go ahead and look at forecasting and look at the analysis, the variances and so forth. So that's where there is a little bit of art to it.
Sure.
To make sure that we present accurate information.
All right. And I understand that a budget is not set in stone, and things move and things change, and it's a forecast. So I'm not trying to say, I guess what I'm trying to say is that we want to, when we give the public numbers or when we're presented with numbers, we just want to know that there is accurate to, to the greatest extent possible, understanding that changes happen or errors could happen.
Correct.
So I just want to make sure, I think that was one of Alderman Florian's points as well, is that we are on the path to correcting past problems and that we'll have confidence going forward.
Yeah, and I think to your point, they're accurate to the best of the ability of the information that's available at the time. So what we're trying to work on is to get more accurate information in a much timely fashion so we can provide even better accurate numbers.
Okay. All right. I think I have some more questions for you, but I'll save them and maybe we can talk later this week.
No problem. I'm here 8 to 5, Monday to Friday.
Thank you.
And just for everybody, particularly Alderman Florian, Alderman Hayes.
Mary, nice.
Okay. I and the rest of the finance department have already come up with a plan of making sure that these things are presented in a timely manner. What we wanted to make sure is that we understood there were some things that was missing. That's all. They've been corrected, have a plan to make sure that they're going to be in line with what we're doing on a monthly. Certainly, I like to truly get to quarterly basis. So, but thank you for some good questions, and we go from there. We have another Alderman Martinez.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for that informative presentation, Juan. I mean, I wrote some of these things down. It's alarming. I mean, shocking that 6 months behind, you said, 346 days late. 2020 was the last time we had a report of financial purchase. I mean, that's alarming. I'm glad that you brought Tina. We need someone who has knowledge and know what they're doing. I mean, this is something that should have never happened. And I'm glad that you are addressing the mismanagement of the last administration. That's exactly what it is. It was mismanagement from the last administration that caused all this. And I see no one complaining about that. But the simple fact is that I'm glad we're going to be able to straighten this thing out. But it's shocking that, all this time we're meant to believe that everything was fine and dandy, when in reality it wasn't. And so that's something that's very bothersome, and hopefully with Tina aboard, we can fix that.
Okay. Alderman Felix.
When did we start catching up? Like, is it when we brought Tina on board? Is that when we started doing that, or?
Yeah, so we've been consistently 6 months behind. Once we started contracting with MGT, we had,
MGT.
yeah, that sped up.
And that's where why we were able to catch up. How far behind were we when we?
We were at least we've been at least 6 months behind.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Juan. Again, if anybody have any further questions, feel free to speak with Juan in the finance department. We'll go from there. All right. Thank you very much. Item three, audience time. Madam Clerk.
Thank you. I just need the list of sign-ins, gentlemen. All right. You have 3 minutes. Go ahead and go to the east side of the room. State your name. Our first speaker will be accommodated for bilingual. Well, no, I don't think it's our first one. It's our, what's your name? Mayra? It's Myra, yeah. Okay, so you're fourth, okay. It's going to be Jesse Rosado, Loretta Pavel, Rayon Edwards, Ryan Libby, and William Power? All right, so Jesse Rosado?
Thank you. I'm Jesse Rosado from
Okay.
Ward 6.
Hold on, let me get my timer on.
Okay.
Thought the other ones were first.
All right. Thank you, Miss.
Go right ahead, sir.
All right. Thank you, guys. Listen, I just want to speak up for a minute on this, on these adjustments of the zoning in at 1620, 1700 North Lewis Avenue. And I've shared these concerns in committee, so I'm not going to go, I'll give you the short version, but really what I believe is that this beverage business, this coffee shop basically, that has the double lane drive-through, is going to draw a crowd. That's already a crowded area over there. Right now, it's a shopping district. Of course, people, when they go shopping, they usually go grocery shopping once a week, twice a week. This is the type of business that's going to be drawing this crowd on the daily. It's going to add to the congestions there, and also the traffic times coincide with the busy times for the grocery stores as well. So you're going to have congestion, and what I believe is going to happen is, I believe when people go and get into all that congestion at the stoplight to get back on Lewis Avenue during commuter times, they're going to be like, wow, I'm not waiting on that light. There's too much going on there. And they're going to bang a right on Harding Street, and they're going to end up back in that neighborhood over Westmoreland, Berwick, and that stuff, and start taking shortcuts through there, which is probably going to have a bad impact on that residential neighborhood. To go big picture here, the city of Waukegan is a group of residents. We're a city of residents supported by a group of businesses, and they're welcome to do business here when they fit like a glove and it makes sense for the residents. What I have noticed about this council is you guys say yes to everybody, man. And not only do you say yes to everybody, but you'll bend over backwards. Does this fit like a glove? Well, they need a variance, they need a zoning change. That's common practice here. Happens all the time. Tells you everything you need to know. And so what I'm hoping that I'm kind of looking forward to Seven Brews. I mean, it's a good coffee shop, okay? I wish they were at a different location, whatever. I'm glad that we're attracting a business like that, but what I'm hoping that you guys hear tonight is that the policies about this should always be residents first, business second. You know, and not everybody, feel free to say no when it doesn't fit like a glove. I mean, it's like a bad dating strategy. You know, anybody will do, well, what could go wrong with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you know, so sometimes businesses don't fit, and we residents will pay the price when that happens and they don't fit well. We're the ones that we live here. Businesses come and go, residents stay. You know, and so anyways, that's my message. Thank you guys for hearing that. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Loretta Pavel?
Good evening. I'm Loretta Pable. I live in the city of Waukegan, but I'm here today to represent the Waukegan Public Library Foundation and tell you a little bit of good news. So among the things that are fantastic about Waukegan are, I think, first and foremost, is the Waukegan Public Library. People tend to think of the library as an old kind of organization that's based around books, but our library is vibrant and brings technology, education, career opportunities, and education to everyone in the city. Just last month, we had 13,200 visitors, over 850 rooms were reserved. We had 20,000 items checked out. Just last week, we had a career fair where we had 40 employers and 170 job seekers. So you're thinking, that's great, Loretta, how can I help? Well, let me tell you. We have annually our Library After Hours fundraiser. This year it will be April 25th. The theme is Where Characters Come to Life. We invite you all to come. Anyone who's interested in being a sponsor, we have sponsorships available from $500 to $5,000. Tickets are just the low, low price of $25 and entitle you to come in, listen to some great DJ'd music, have appetizers, perhaps some alcoholic beverages if you're of age, and to support the library in any way you feel comfortable. We are inviting people to come in character, so imagine just walking into the library and running into Ray Bradbury or Sherlock Holmes. That could happen on April 25th. We do invite you to come and enjoy, support the library, celebrate what's great about Waukegan, and help all of our learners, our little learners, and our lifelong learners. Jennifer has some additional materials if you're interested. You all got a copy. We'd love to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Rayon Edwards.
Good evening, council, community. Sometimes, my grandfather used to tell me sometimes to just be quiet. Alderman Martinez, what you said, like everything was fine and dandy and we made everything believe, you should be embarrassed by that statement. As a sitting alderman, you should have knew some of that stuff that he got up here and said. But see, those is the things that y'all didn't pay attention to when y'all got elected. The people elect y'all to watch our money and to make sure it's being spent properly. You aldermen, all of y'all. Ms. Newsom, you've been the finance chair for quite some time. I don't know how you missed that. You understand what I'm saying? So what do we have y'all here for? But tonight, I don't even want to talk about that. I want to talk about why this mayor won't talk about towing in front of this entire community. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Sam Cunningham is getting kickbacks. That's why. Y'all didn't think it was ironic? What first order of business he did when he got elected was he hired a building commissioner. What is the building commissioner going to do? How much of the UDO have y'all changed since the previous mayor? Let's talk about it. He didn't have a resume or nothing. Then you bring Mosio up in here. He's a consultant making $65,000 a year, and his job is to consult, to build a bridge with you aldermen and the mayor, as if the mayor wasn't an alderman for 20 years. You really needed somebody to teach you how to communicate with the aldermen? This towing needs to come before this council just like any other proposal. It's just like when they cutting trees or doing the streets or doing the sidewalk. Y'all reach out to the community. Y'all put an RFP out there. And y'all look for the best candidate that's going to do the best business for the people of the city of Waukegan. That mayor don't want to have this conversation, just like we don't want to talk about him having police with him everywhere he goes. So the citizen's job is to pay the police to protect one man, where he wouldn't need security if he wouldn't be doing all these backdoor deals, promises, bad business. I want to make this very clear. We didn't have plenty of mayors. And every time Sam becomes the mayor, that is the only time towing becomes a problem. Clyde said it best. The mayor said this was his perk. In fact, Clyde met with the mayor, and then Clyde went and told Ron Rogers of Lake County Towing that the mayor needs some black money. Don't test me because I got the message in my phone right now. He also texts Ron Rogers to tell him to go up on the towing so all of it can look good. They're waiting on the casino.
Thank you, sir.
$10 million
Thank you.
worth of.
Thank you. We have Ryan Libby and Mayra Mendez. This will be bilingual, so I will have a separate clock going for you.
And just to be clear, it'll be 3 minutes for the English and 3 minutes for the Spanish, correct?
It's double time.
Yes.
So go go right ahead.
Much appreciated. I planned for 1 minute to fit us both in, so that means we get to be short and sweet. My name is Ryan. I work with Power Market. Joining me today is Myra Mendez from Clean Power Lake County. For those who haven't had a chance to meet me yet, I am leading the outreach and community engagement around Waukegan's own Yowman Creek Community Solar Farm. I wanted to come here today to just give a quick thanks to the mayor, city council, as well as all the city staffers who helped us with spreading awareness recently For those that haven't seen, a letter recently went out to Waukegan residents, letting folks know about Waukegan's own community solar farm. Folks that live within Waukegan and meet some basic income requirements can apply to receive a guaranteed 50% discount on the supply portion of their bill. This is a free program that doesn't require installing solar panels. It's accessible to renters and homeowners and is guaranteed for the 20-year lifespan of the farm. And it's all thanks to hard work from Waukegan Public Schools, the City of Waukegan, Community Action Partnership, Clean Power Lake County, and other local nonprofits leading the program. For those who are still curious and want to apply, I strongly encourage folks, we are down to only 400 spaces left in the program. They can apply by going to powermarket.io/c/Waukegan or by finding us at community events. Tomorrow, I'll be at City Hall with the nonprofit United Giving Hope, helping people with enrollment from noon to 6. Additionally, next Tuesday, I have events planned with Community Action Partnership and Clean Power Lake County. We're always open to more. But again, thank you, and I hope this helps find more Waukegan residents so they can take part in this program.
Buenas noches, ayuntamientos. Es un placer estar con ustedes. Soy Mayra de Clean Power Lake County y estoy acá con Ryan de Power Market. Él está encargado de los programas de comunitario solar de Yeoman Creek acá en Waukegan. Quería agradecer a los alcaldes y los trabajadores de la ciudad de Waukegan para ayudar a conocer sobre el comunitario solar acá en Waukegan. Si no han visto la carta que llegó en sus correos de Waukegan, los residentes de Waukegan que cumplen con los requisitos de ingresos pueden calificar para un descuento garantizado de 50% en el parte correspondiente al suministro de sus facturas de Comer cada mes. El programa es gratis. Pueden participar si viven en un apartamento o en una casa. Este programa es solamente para residentes de Waukegan. Gracias a los trabajadores de la ciudad de Waukegan, las escuelas públicas de Waukegan y muchas organizaciones sin fines de lucro de la ciudad. Si no han inscribido, se inscriben rápido porque el espacio está limitado. Nomás hay 400 lugares que están disponibles. Puede encontrar más información en nuestra social media en línea de Facebook y puede encontrar más información en powermarket.io Waukegan en línea. Y también estamos en la ciudad en esta semana. Pueden venir mañana acá en el centro de Waukegan, acá en la Martin Luther King Drive, entre las 12 a las 6, o el martes de la próxima semana, acá en nuestra oficina, acá en la Washington Street, que es 415 Washington Street, en oficina 009. Y también vamos a tener otro evento con Community Action Partnership en la tarde del martes de la próxima semana. Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much. The last speaker is William Perez, I believe. I'm not sure if I...
Powers.
I'm sorry, I couldn't read your last.
That's
You
okay.
didn't spell
Thanks,
it
Sam.
well.
Powers, that's okay.
Thank you.
William Powers, yes. Mayor Cunningham, council, I just had a few brief comments about the short-term rental program code that the city has implemented. The first thing I'd like to ask is, for the past year and a half, we've been trying to pay our taxes for our Airbnbs, and we still have an inability to do that with the city. Across our portfolio, we pay about $400,000 a year in hotel tax, from Florida up here in Illinois, Libertyville. It would be nice to be able to pay that at some point, so I'd appreciate if the city could look into that and allow us to pay those taxes. The second point I wanted to make is I think that the code and the, I don't know what you want to call it, the ordinance that was put in place for short-term rentals was severely misguided. We operate 80 Airbnbs across Illinois and Florida, and I think that inviting one-night stays in Airbnbs is a mistake. I think that the application fees or annual fees that are put on Airbnbs is actually too low here in Waukegan. I think there ought to be a barrier to entry where you only invite or encourage quality operators to operate these type of rentals. So I'd just like you to look at the ordinance again, consider it. If you'd like to talk to me about it, since I do a lot of these, I'd be happy to do that. We're the largest operator of Airbnbs in Lake County. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. That concludes the audience portion.
Thank you. Item 4, consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are considered routine and non-controversial, while controversial and will be approved by one motion. If any one board member wishes to have a separate vote on any item, it will be pulled from the consent agenda and voted on separately. Oh, that's no business with it. All right. Item 4A, motion to approve regular meeting minutes from Tuesday, February 17, 2026. 4B, motion to approve regular meeting minutes from Monday, March 2nd, 2026. 4C, motion to approve and ratify regular payroll dated March 6, 2026 at a total amount of $2,131,722.91. 4D, motion to approve and ratify miscellaneous payroll dated March 6, 2026 in amount of $27,557.61. Item 4E, motion to approve vendor payments dated March 16, 2026 in a total amount of $3,977,668.01. Item 4F, resolution of the City of Waukegan, Illinois, reallocating 2026 volume cap to the Village of Buffalo Grove, Illinois. Item 4G, ordinance amending the zoning classification of two parcels, 1921 West Beach Road, PIN number 04-32-300-018, and 3706 North Lewis Avenue, PIN number 403-32-300-020, at the southwest corner of Beach Road and North Lewis Avenue, from B2 Community Shopping District to R4 General Residential District. 4H, ordinance approving a planned unit development for an age-restricted multi-unit dwelling, PIN number 404-32-300-018, and PIN number 04-32-300-020, at the southwest corner of Beach Road and North Lewis Avenue. Item 4I, ordinance amending the zoning classification of 1620-700 North Lewis Avenue from B2 Community Shopping District to B3 General Commercial District. Item 4J, ordinance approving variance to allow 4-foot buffer yard instead of the required 10-foot buffer yard, 1620-17 on North Lewis Avenue. 4K, resolution approving and authorizing execution of a license agreement with School District 60 for monthly permits lot 4F for 2 years. 4L, a resolution approving a worker agreement with Deegan Group for environmental services at parking lot D in the amount of $74,457.50. 4M, a resolution approving change order number 2 with Deegan Group for a Fansteel soil remediation project in the amount of $17,650.30, bringing the contractual to $143,424.72. 4N, resolution approving a Sixth Amendment to an agreement between the City of Waukegan, Amskin Associates, LLC regarding property located at 801 South Market Street. And that's it. Any questions on the motion?
I have a
Alderman, I'm sorry, motion by Alderman Martinez, second by Alderman Turner. But actually, Alderman Donnerworth had his hand up, but both of you get it. All right, any other questions? Alderman Felix.
Yeah, with line item K, so if we were to start developing or anything like that on that lot, does that separate or try to do anything with that lot? Does that
No.
affect that? Because we're making an agreement for 2 years.
No, we won't, no. Answer
Doesn't-
the question is no.
So we're good.
I think isn't there a 30-day, yeah?
There's an out clause.
Okay. That's it.
All right. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Alderman Martinez.
President. Oh, aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Motion passed, sir.
Motion passed and carried. New business for item I. Item 5A, resolution authorizing certain city officials and officers to execute approved contracts with State of Illinois and directing city clerk to complete and execute a certificate of authority to state contracts. For state contracts. Public Works is seeking the city council authorization of approval of a resolution for a certificate of authority. This item is required by IDOT to participate in the purchase of salt as well as procurement for any other state contracts. There's a motion on the floor by Alderman Florian, second by Alderman Bolton. Any questions to the motion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Martinez.
Aye.
Felix. Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton.
Aye.
Motion passed, sir.
Motion passed and carried. Item B was taken off. Item 6, there are no reports and communication. Item 7, old business. Resolution authorizing the purchase of Exxon VR. Waukegan Police Department seeking the spending authority to enter into a 3-year contract agreement with Exxon, Inc. for virtual reality training system. The total cost is $100,891.26, which will be fully paid upfront and funded by, you see the line item. Any questions to the motion? Madam
I have
Clerk?
a really
I'm
quick
sorry.
question. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
sir. Alderman
Is it-
Hayes.
Is it an annual contract, or is this a one-time purchase? Sorry to ask it at this point.
DC?
It covers 3 years.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we good? All right. Madam Clerk, roll call, please. Thank you, DC.
I need a first and a second, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Motion by Alderman Newsome, second by Alderman Martinez.
Alderman Martinez.
Aye.
Felix.
Aye.
Newsome.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes.
Aye.
Bolton. Motion passed, sir.
Motion passed and carried. Item 8, there being none. Item 9, closing items. Alderman's time. Madam Clerk.
Alderman Martinez.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk and Council. I'll be very brief here. As mentioned by Public Works, the ongoing road work on Baldwin Avenue from Washington Street and Grand Avenue has already started. There are specific parking restrictions and other pertinent information that I will be distributing door to door, weather permitting, of course. I received many calls, especially from the Spanish-speaking residents, confused, so I want to be out there and make sure that they get the correct information. Next, I also want to briefly talk about reporting a street light that may be out in your street. Please understand that this is through the ComEd. Usually what happens is that you first please call me with a specific street corner, and I usually go out and I will take a picture. And in turn, I'll go ahead and make the report to ComEd. There is a grace period. If that light is not fixed within a week, then it is escalated to the field representative. Once the field representative gets the information and sees that nothing has been done, then that's escalated, and then from there, they'll expedite the process and get that light fixed. So in all, it is a 2 to 3 weeks, sometime a month process. It cannot be done overnight. And again, it has to go through ComEd, not through Public Works or the city of Waukegan. But I'll do everything I can to assist and make sure that that problem is rectified. Let me say quickly, I also got good news, Earth Week collection. Thank you, Mr. Motley. Earth Week collection for the 3rd Ward is going to be from 8 to 3 on a Tuesday, April 21st. Once I get more information, I know this is probably a rough draft, but once I get all the information, I will be distributing these out to your homes. Please understand that in order to get some of the trash picked up, There are some that you cannot bring. I'm sure you know by now, but it is all located here. One in particular is no flammable materials, car parts, yard waste, liquids. But I think this year, what we're doing is something different. You do have to have a city ID to identify yourself. So not to say that they're going to be asking for IDs everyone that comes through, but just keep that in mind, that there could be a possibility that, they might ask you for your city ID, which I fully support. With that, I really have nothing else to say or to comment on. If you need to get a hold of me, please call me at 847-390-2689. And as you guys all know, tomorrow is Election Day. Please exercise that great right that you have, and we'll see you soon. Thank you. Be mindful, be safe, and let's all be a good neighbor.
Alderman Felix.
Thank you. This past week, I had a meeting with Alderman Martinez and our police department with Chief Navarro. We did go over a few items. One thing that did come up for me that I think was very important was that, for example, I'll bring this for an example, marijuana consumption in public. It is legal to do it in private, but in public, it is illegal to do that. So the reason why I wanted to bring that up was because I don't like seeing it in the downtown area while we have families or people walking, and you have people smoking sometimes. So sometimes I would say, even if a police makes an arrest, it doesn't necessarily mean that person will be charged with anything, but we can find people. We can still find people, and that's kind of where I'm thinking of. We need at least a deterrent, So, and that's finding for, that conversation came up for marijuana consumption, but it could be for other things as well that we can, if we can make it something that we can charge for, or it would be led to a charge, or it can be fined. And that way we try to deter people from doing it in public. In private, it's totally fine. So, I want to have that conversation. We can open that conversation with the rest of the alder persons, and maybe we can come up with a solution for that. I do need your guys' help and support for that. Also, I did meet with Vice Chair Dr. Mary Cunningham last week Friday at the Lakeside Towers. We went over and had a discussion with the owner's team and also the property manager, Mrs. G. So we wanted to just kind of go over their process again, just because they're starting now. So just an update is that they're almost done getting the temporary units available, and then they're going to start moving people around. So the temporary units, they're just painting it, make sure it's nice, but they're not going to replace anything because those units eventually will be remodeled. So I believe they're going to have up to 24 units ready for temporary living, and while that happens, they're going to do full remodels of their existing units. So no one's getting kicked out. There's there's issues, and those get brought up to the property manager, and the property manager, for example, if there's rodents or roaches or anything like that, they will send someone over there, but not necessarily that someone will open their doors. So sometimes there are complaints, but there's necessarily they don't sometimes are willing to open their home or their doors to take care of the problem. But I did make a post recently on my social media. If people want to reach out and go over their issue, and for whatever reason they don't want to let the management know, I can also let the management know. We're establishing a good relationship. We all want the residents to feel safe, but overall it was a good news. It was good dialogue with the property manager and the owner as well. They're doing good work there. But when I went there, they were moving boxes to every unit that were gonna be moved out, and all the people have to do is put their items in there, and then the people will move them to the temporary unit. So they're trying to work with the residents there. Also, one thing that I was walking downtown, and I do understand we do have a garbage problem all over the downtown. I don't like it. I don't like seeing it. So I think that we need to do a better job at addressing those things. So if you see something, take a picture, send it to me, send it to the, anyone in the city so we can take care of that. I did see the recycling bins that we recently put out there. It's just a regular recycling bin. It doesn't have a hole or anything like that where they get, you can throw recycling, the bottles or whatnot in there. So it's kind of like defeats the purpose. No one's gonna want to open it up and then put it in there. So I think we maybe can rethink that, what we're trying to do there. Maybe they can LRS or rethink something different where it'll be easier for people to just drop off their recyclable items. So I'm open to have dialogue with that, and I did mention that to Alderman Hayes and Alderman Florian, since they had a concern regarding that as well. So we can open the dialogue back up again. And regarding roads, if you guys didn't catch in Public Works Committee, the 2026 road program will be coming to a close. What that means for the 4th Ward is that they will be finishing off Brookside, which is needs a lot of work. So Brookside from Buttrick to Lewis will be done, and Jenkinson from Buttrick to Lewis will be done as well. So that's good news for the 4th Ward. And just last thing, go out there and vote. Exercise your right. Thank you.
Alderman Newsom.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. 5th Ward, Earth Week collection will be Wednesday, April the 22nd. It's going to be from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., and my dumpster will be located at Greenwood in Delaware. I'll keep giving reminders and get some flyers out to the ward as well with items that are taken and what you will need to present or whatever when you bring your items. Also wanted to give an update with the lead line on Lewis Avenue. When I reported last month, we were 98.3%, I believe, participation. But I'm happy to report we got 100% participation on Lewis Avenue, and that splits the 3rd Ward and the 5th Ward. Every house that needed the lead line replacement, we were able to get it completed. Now we're waiting on the weather to cooperate with us so that we can go ahead and get the sidewalks done, the curbs cut, and all that before we can resurface Lewis Avenue. I think the residents in that area put up with a lot of construction for the last couple months, but I think they'll be very pleased once the project is finished with some more interruptions with the curbs and the sidewalks. But I'm sure it'll be beautiful once we get it finished. So as that rolls out with the sidewalks and the curbs, I'll keep the residents informed of what's happening over there. And just pleased, I know the mayor had spoke at the last meeting about not being able to get the residents to open their doors. But I have to thank the staff, the engineers, the city workers, public works, everyone that helped to knock on those doors, the aldermen, knock on those doors to let the residents know. And I think that's something that we might have to do on every street that needs the lead line replaced. If we're gonna keep getting the funds that we're getting, we need that participation. So I look forward to working with whoever needs help in my ward on knocking on doors in the areas that need the lead line replaced. I'm happy to be of assistance. Thank you for your hard work.
Alderman Turner.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I got several things here. One, the First Amendment, I think all of us support, I certainly do. I believe in the Constitution and all of our civil rights, including obviously the First Amendment. And that's why you have audience time. That is the time to come here for redress of grievances and commentary and to question your elected officials, all of us, and that is appropriate. What is not appropriate is to make accusations of illegal activities. And if you have information about illegal conduct of any elected officials, I suggest you take it to the Public Integrity Unit or Corruption Unit of the Illinois State Police. There's an officer, agents here in Waukegan, and you can easily find them. But it's totally inappropriate to make accusations of criminal activity against any of us. If it's substantiated, take it to the authorities and let them investigate. I'm really happy to have had the Vietnam Veteran Recognition today. You know, March 29th is actually Vietnam Veterans Recognition Day, and that marks the anniversary of March 29th, 1973, when the last combat troops left Vietnam. And I was particularly pleased, Madam Clerk, that you read the names of those men, and I think there was a woman, but those persons from Waukegan who lost their lives, sacrificed their lives in Vietnam and in that war. So thank you for that. Signs on poles in the 6th Ward. I think generally the aldermen and city employees, public works, and the building department have a lot of latitude for yard sales, garage sales, and that kind of thing. In the 6th Ward, I certainly turn a blind eye to those things during the summer months. What I don't turn a blind eye towards is commercial advertisements. As an example, those signs that they put up, "We Buy Houses." On the way down here tonight, I cut 3 of them down off of sign poles in the 6th Ward. I don't, you know, if it's a yard sign or something, I'm sorry, for a yard sale or something like that, like I say, I turn a blind eye. If it's there too long, I'll take it and put it in the person's yard. But if you're putting signs, selling stuff, providing services on city property, on stop signs, on light poles and trees and such, if I see them, I take them down and I dispose of them. So if you got a problem with that, see me. 6th Ward dumpster drop is, what do we call it? It's not a dumpster drop. It's
Operation, I'm sorry.
It's the Earth Week collection, the dumpster drop, right? And so mine is the same day as Alderman Newsom's, and that is, mine is going to be on Hickory Street, just above Keith, underneath the power lines, right? And again, from 8 to 3 on Wednesday, April 22nd. And I'll see you out there. I'll be out there.
Thank you, Alderman Turner. I have to say, I knew a couple of those families, so I'm old enough to say I knew those Vietnam gentlemen who won't be home. Alderman Florian.
Wait, I'm not finished
I
yet.
thought you were done.
No, heck, you know. All right, the finance presentation, I really appreciate that. I know, and I do appreciate your questions. I just, you know, so. But I read that report over the weekend. I was out in Las Vegas, and I really appreciate the transparency that they brought that forward to us and the public, and said, hey, you know, there's some errors, some things, and we need to work on. We're working on it, so I really appreciate that. And then finally, Public Works. You know, they did do a fine job there on the snow, but generally, the Public Works is phenomenal. I get a lot of comments about how responsive the Public Works team is and how effective and efficient they are. You know, they're challenged with resources and the sheer volume of calls. You know, when I do my ward meetings, I give a report on how many calls they're doing across the city and in the ward, and it's amazing to me that, man, those guys are busy. And then remember, none of them take time off during the winter time because they have to be available for snow. So in the summertime, they're constantly making these resource reallocations. The guy that dig the holes now has to cut the tree. The guy that cuts the tree now has to dig the hole. And it's a constant challenge to realign resources. So Chris, let the team know it's not just me, but a lot of my residents in the 6th Ward and across the city appreciate the effort. So thank you all very much. That's what I have for tonight. Good night.
Alderman Donworth.
Alderman, I want everybody to know, we had 4 birthdays going on yesterday while they had to come to work. Is that correct? 4 of our guys who had come to work yesterday were celebrating birthdays yesterday. So everybody eternally say happy birthday to those individuals. Thank you. I had to throw that out there.
Happy birthday to all of them. Thank you. Last week, I want to put a big thank you to City Yards and big kudos for their response on Alexander Court. They had a tree fall down and it covered the whole road. So they were notified and immediately came out and they blocked off the road and they cut the tree up and got rid of it. And the neighbors and everyone around there want you to know, and the city workers, you know, to know that they thank you very much for the quick response. Myself also, because that makes me look good too if you're out there. I have, my dumpster is April 23rd at Bowen Park from 8 to 3 p.m. Please vote. And again, the great snow job today, I was out in it. I saw them. They were out there doing what they had to do. And on a sad note, I was just advised this evening by the police department that one of our retired police officers, Michael Batasso, who I had worked with for 20 years there, and then he retired and went to Ohio, has died. I have no information on it. I will get more information. I know the other police officers are wondering, and I'll see what I can do. And if not, the FOP will figure out what we can do and what type of arrangements we have. And again, thank you.
Alderman Florian.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. My dumpster is the same day as Alderman Donnerworth's. Mine will be at Beavier Park on the edge of 7th and 8th Ward there from 8 a.m. to 3, Thursday, April 23rd. I know my residents love when we do our dumpsters, so they'll be very happy to hear we're doing them again for Earth Week. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of meeting with 4 young, well, I guess 3 young women from the high school. They're in the process of doing their civics project that they do this time of year, and they reached out to talk to me about affordable housing and poverty in Waukegan. It was a really great conversation. They were all very informed, had good questions. One of them even brought her 8th grade brother because he happens to be discussing the same issue in school as she was, so he had a couple of questions for me too, and it was just so nice to be engaged with young people and having them care about our community in some of the same ways that I do. Speaking of that, we had our intergovernmental committee meeting on Thursday of last week. It's the last one I'll be chairing. I started that committee under the previous administration, and it's going in a different direction now. But we had the Center for Immigrant Progress there and Mano a Mano, as well as Anthony Vega, the county clerk. Center for Immigrant Progress did a really great presentation. We expect that ICE may be returning when the weather gets a little better, whenever that may be. March is struggling here. But they gave a lot of really good information about what immigrants can do to understand their risk, know what their options are, what ICE officers can and cannot do, how to create a safety plan, fraud prevention, because there unfortunately are people out there willing to take advantage of people during these times when they're already suffering. They talked about how important guardianship is for parents to set up for their children in case something happens, and power of attorney for their property. They shared a story of a woman who had her car towed. She was a U.S. citizen. She eventually was able to go get her car, but the place where they took her to get her car was full of landscaping equipment that had not been claimed. Like she said, it looked like a graveyard. There was trucks and mowers, and because people had been taken from gas stations, as we remember, or while they were working, and their equipment was seized, and they didn't do proper documentation to get someone who could go and get the property for them, since they were not able to get it before they were deported. They talked about how important it is for people to carry their passport, birth certificate, driver's license, green cards, all of that. Carmen Patlan, who runs the center, always asks how many people in the room have to carry their passport with them. I fear someday we all may have to do that, but so far it's only the people that look a certain way, unfortunately. And then an overall safety plan based on this information. So the Center for Immigrant Progress is at 2424 Washington in Suite 2010. They help with a lot of these issues, creating a plan, getting the power of attorney, all of this, guardianship. So please don't hesitate to reach out to them. Their phone number is 630-707-0898. And I wish we had our meetings translated into Spanish, so people who speak Spanish would have understood what I said. Anthony Vega was at the meeting on Thursday to talk about something I mentioned at the last council meeting about the hospital's foreclosure process. He informed us that they have until June 12th to respond to this foreclosure that's been started. We don't know if they're going to respond to it or not. I'm fearful of what might happen. I realize that the employees at the hospital are all providing excellent care in spite of the fact that they're working under very trying circumstances. I still hear stories of people going there and getting wonderful care, and I'm very grateful to those employees who are there every day to try to provide that care, even though they may not even have the proper equipment that they need to do their job. So thank you to them. I want to thank you, Mayor, for clarifying on the towing that I talked about last meeting. However, it explains why things were towed, but it still doesn't explain why the city was charged a huge amount of money compared to what other people are getting charged for towing. Although I keep getting these stories. A friend of mine was towed on a Friday. She was in an accident at Ridgeland and Lewis. It was not her fault, Alderman Donworth. I know you say you just don't have to break the law to not get towed, but sometimes people are victims. Alderman Turner, you mentioned you've twice been a victim of an accident in Waukegan, so sometimes you're innocent when you end up having to be towed. Her bumper had fallen off, and so her car was not drivable. So it was about 3:30, 4 o'clock on Friday. She gets towed to the yard. It's closed Saturday. It's closed Sunday. She goes to pick her car up Monday, $600 for a car that she just had to tape basically the bumper back on in order to drive it. So these are the kind of things that are kind of making me crazy. As I said 2 weeks ago, I got towed recently all the way from Lake Forest to Waukegan for $175, and I'm so grateful I knew who to call. And I understand we had cars that needed evidence work or whatever, but $300 each way across the city just seems outrageous to me when Gurnee has a contract that says those kind of things won't get charged. And the mayor and I we met over Zoom, and he agreed that we should come up with a contract and an ordinance and all of that. And I sent an email this week following up on that, and I still have not heard. So I'm gonna keep pressing. But anyway, I agree with Alderman Donworth. I'm encouraging everyone to get out and vote who hasn't already done it tomorrow. Thank you.
Alderman Hayes.
Pass.
Alderman Bolton.
Yes, I'd just like to thank our staff and departments and all our employees for your hard work. I also want to thank the faith-based community leaders, such as Dr. Pamela, that came out and provided our invocation. And our projected date for Earth Week will be April 20th. I need to confirm yet that location, so I will let you know that. And don't forget to respond to all your correspondence, your mail, in reference to the lead line replacement in the First Ward, and happy Veterans Day early. That's all I have. Thank you.
That's it. There's going to be a motion by Alderman Hayes, second by Alderman Felix, to go into executive session
For the purchase of real estate.
for the purchase of real estate.
Can we get 5 minutes really quick?
Yeah, please. Let me, there's going to be there's a motion on the floor.
It only take 30 seconds?
Yes, it's going to be a hot minute. Can we vote on the motion? All, everybody saying yes in 5 minutes? Roll call, Madam Clerk, I'm
Alderman
sorry.
Martinez. Felix. Newsom.
Aye.
Turner.
Aye.
Donnerworth.
Aye.
Florian.
Aye.
Hayes. Bolton.
Aye.
Motion
All right.
passed.
Motion's passed. See you in about 5 minutes. To everybody out here, happy St. Patty's Day. And if anyone is asking, I will be doing the cabbage and ground, is it ground beef? No. Corned beef. Cabbage and corned beef. How you doing, Megan? Good to see you. Motion by Alderman Turner, second by Alderman Donnerworth, to come out of executive session. Roll call, please.
Alderman Bolton.
Aye.
Alderman Guzman. Alderman Martinez. Alderman Felix.
Aye.
Alderman Newsome.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Donnerworth. Alderman Florian.
Aye.
Alderman Hayes. Mayor Cunningham.
Motion passed and carried. Motion by Alderman Hayes, second by Alderman Bolton to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Keith? I thought you were going to say no. Motion passed and carried. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week. Be safe out there. Mike?